There's a reason why I'm beyond excited about the future of this planet because OnlyFans and pornography are about to come to an end, even though the bill hasn't reached yet. But thankfully, all that is about to stop very soon, especially when there's kids involved and they discover what they see on the internet. And I already made videos about this yesterday, and I meant what I said. I think OnlyFans is ruining society and relationships, and it has turned men and women upside down for the worse, and it's making them more delusional to think that, doing OnlyFans to make a living and making money off of it is not only okay, but it'll have them surviving in life. Knowing that this is the real world that they're living in, like there comes a point in time where you're gonna have to stop and realize that you cannot live and do this longer. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to this creator. We're gonna go ahead and dive into this video, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts and opinions like I always do. Let's get to it.
Our generation is very brain rotted, but the most brain rotted thing out of 2024 has got to be the Bop House. But like the thing is, not talking
Yeah.
about bops like a person that sleeps with a lot of people. Like they're talking about workers, and then they have applications. Why are we recruiting?
The internet is mad at the Bop House for making $10 million in 1 month.
What do you do for a living to afford a car like this?
I do
How much do you make?
a couple M's.
How much is this car?
500? I don't know. I don't look. I just tap. I don't have time for this.
The fact that she brought a car without even going into details and making sure that it's the right car and the price is right. The engines, the brakes, the lights, and make sure that the car is legit on point without even thinking about how much it costs, because you just click it and you just buy it anyway because you're rich of selling your body parts on the internet. Is crazy work.
Pay for it, The G-Wagon, I could crash it. I wouldn't give a fuck about it.
It is about Piper, because one thing about me is that I'm never gonna do anything associated with a minor. Like, it is ridiculous that the Bob House would even do that.
How about not do it, period? And you see, this is the one thing I don't understand about people in general, is that when you sign up for a program that is not what you expected, you can either A, deal with it, or B, just quit and not do anything, period. But at least she acknowledges that having a minor in the house is definitely wrong of all places. But I'm gonna get to Piper towards the end of the video.
So many other people you can collab with that is over age, because we all know what you guys do.
Every year, this whole OnlyFans ordeal is getting worse and worse. So, ever since we had
It
the
is
rise of OnlyFans, it has opened the floodgates of overly
making
sexualizing
women
and
more
degrading
delusional as
women.
hell.
I cannot go on any platform on social media without seeing some random woman making a provocative sexual video with the only purpose of advertising that they do OnlyFans.
Hey, me and my team just finished cleaning up. Where do we dump our loads?
Oh, I've got two good spots right here and here.
What the The garbage. We just finished cleaning up.
Oh, sorry. This is where my husband normally does it.
Morning, ladies.
Morning, boss.
What the hell, bruh?
Boss, did you get my email?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I'm trying to see that bounce.
Oh, we usually charge for that. Yeah, but
No, I wasn't talking about, like, I was saying, like, the dryer sheets. Like, let me just...
Seriously, why is we even entertaining this? Like, you simps are literally the reason why these women are successful. Like, I was just talking about this in my Sunday school earlier, when I mentioned something about OnlyFans or about to go bye-bye, and some of my classmates were very happy about it. Shout out to Minister Trice when she actually brought some interesting points about it. Men and women that do OnlyFans You know, they find some ways to make money off of it by selling themselves, you know. And what I was, while she was bringing us some interesting points about it, I also brought up the boots on the ground issue when the mom who does OF, and she was telling me about it, how she does, well, she has a, you know, an OF account, you know, you can meet and greet with the child and everything, but nah, that's inappropriate regardless, bro. The fact that you have an OnlyFans account and you're exploiting your daughter to do these inappropriate dances that were meant for adults, especially the Boots on the Ground song. That song has been trending. It has been played in radio charts. It has people dancing off that song in clubs, casinos, TikTok, social media. It's a good song. The problem I have with it is that you have little girls twerking and dancing off that song, and adults are making it okay. Instead of you telling your daughters no, not to do that, like you too young for that, you have them wearing, you know, pull-off bras and booty shorts that is not meant for a child. And you got creeps on the internet talking about this. But the ones that are not like this, they are speaking out about it. They are speaking out against that particular part. First of all, the mom should be ashamed of herself of having her daughter do that on social media, knowing that she is way too young to do that. Way too young. And we were just talking about that in my Sunday school.
Everyone has their own belief system and, you know, religion and whatnot. So when it comes to like your principles and morals, I try not to, you know, heavily judge people and just let people live how they want to live. But this new generation of these people doing what they're doing and promoting what they're promoting.
Nah, I'm judging completely, especially if you're doing OnlyFans and the fact that you have a child. I just seen one clip on the Whatever podcast, and there was this woman who is a mother who does OnlyFans to support her daughter and is thinking that everybody's supposed to take her seriously and is demanding respect, because doing OnlyFans while being a mother is respect. How is it respecting yourself when you're doing exploited adult content to support your daughter while making money? You got it all the way backwards, Ma. All the way backwards, Mo. It's backwards. You can't be doing that. Like, shouldn't you at least be setting better examples for your daughter so she'll end up growing up to be the opposite of you? Not like you? Because you know the internet is forever, right? Kids are going to know who you are. There's Google, there's social media. They're going to know who you are regardless of why you do adult content. That's why the next generation is screwed. The Gen Z is screwed. Society is screwed because of delusional women and men who do OnlyFans for a living, especially simps that defend 304, that defend 304s. Like, are y'all proud of yourselves for doing that? Come on now.
His problem with this whole OnlyFans thing is it's extremely damaging and it's very dangerous to women. Like, what are we as women doing to society? We're destroying it. That's my issue with it. I think like a year ago or like a couple months ago, I saw this OnlyFans girl set a record of trying to sleep with
Jesus,
like
I can't stand this woman.
in like 12 hours. So essentially she, slept with over 1,000 men and she spent like less than a minute with each one.
Sorry, Daddy, but today I'm going to be stretched out a lot.
Oh my God.
I cannot wait to be leaving here.
Look at this shit.
I don't know if it's medically possible to be able to take all of these at once.
Who is taking it seriously? Who is taking her seriously, bruh? You cannot make this up. And I heard that she got pregnant, and I did a video on this a while back, like around February when I was in Atlantic City. I did a video covering the story of Bonnie Blue, who is known for being well, you already know who she is. The fact that she staged of being pregnant and had everybody fooled and believing that, that she was really having a baby, because she had multiple testicles all at once. How do you do that as a human being? Like, as a woman, how do you do that? And how do you sleep with yourself? How do you sleep at night to think that it's cool? Like, y'all are just failing in society, and you're teaching young girls to be just like you, and you're teaching them and having them thinking that this is definitely okay to do. This is concerning for a lot of people who are sexually active. And I know this video is going to be demonetized. I don't care. I'm expressing how I feel. In my opinion, I really do believe that OnlyFans should come to an end. Because the fact that people are supporting this is pretty much diabolical, bro. If my daughter ended up being like this, Lord knows Lord knows what is running through my mind when I find out she's doing some stuff like this, especially when you are raising a child that was born, in a Christian environment, that was born and raised in church. And you pray for them, and you pray that they'll be okay. You pray that they'll become successful. But then you find out what they do on the internet, and you happen to Google and you see one video of your loved one, your son or daughter, doing the nasty. Like, what would your reaction be? What would your initial reactions be like? Chime in the comments if you have any crazy thoughts running through your mind if you find out one of your loved ones is doing coin for a living.
When did this become a flex? What happened to women's dignity and self-respect? It's very dangerous. And now I recently saw a video on YouTube, and apparently there's been a creation of a content house for OnlyFans girls.
Oh boy.
So if you're not familiar with the whole like content creation houses, for years now people have been making these houses where they'll get a handful of, younger people that are content creators, mainly on like TikTok and YouTube. And essentially they live in like a big mansion, and their job is to make, content on their channels all day. And in the past, like almost all these content creation houses have blown up in some way, shape, or fashion and gotten dissolved fairly quickly because something always goes down. I mean, when you put a bunch of young people in a mansion somewhere in LA and
turn it into something that is a complete mess, I would like to think that if I were to become a famous streamer or a content creator, I would not be doing the crap that these people are doing and turn it into a whorehouse. Having these OF and corn stars in my podcast talking some crazy stuff. Like, I want to have normal content like I'm doing if I were to become rich and famous, but kept cool to myself and stayed true to myself. I want to create normal content like I'm doing right now and do something fun. Not breaking a bunch of 304s in my content, knowing that I'm going to have a bunch of people in my family and Christians from my church and my job watching my videos to see what I do. The last thing I want to do is screw up my reputation as a man. I don't want to do that as a content creator. If I were to be that big, I want to be just as successful like Kai Cenat. I don't want to bring any more demonic Satanists and crazy people into my home and do some crazy content. But the fact that we got more people coming in, creating the stupid house, hype house, Bob house, whatever house they call, it's gonna suck regardless. And they're not gonna last long either.
Is to like gain as many followers as possible. It's obvious that something is gonna go down. So recently there's been a bop house made, and I was confused because I grew up with the term bop, meaning like a really cool or like hip song, like, oh, like this song is like a real bop, like that's cool, you know, like that's what I grew up with it as. But apparently a bop is someone who posts promiscuous photos or, you know, gets around. And according to Gen Z, a bop is someone who posts revealing photos of their body online and has a lot of, you know, sexual partners. And all these bops in the house are like our OnlyFans girls. Where did this come
more like
from?
sex
I've
workers,
never heard this
of course.
my entire life. Comment down below if you've heard of like a bop being something sexual. I've never heard of that before. It's just, I thought a bop was like
I heard of a bobcat.
But this bop house was made by Sophia Rain and Aisha Sophie. I hope I said their name right. And there are normally like around like 8 members in the bop house. The youngest originally being 19 years old, which is beyond insane to me because like, yes, you're an adult, but technically you're still a teenager because 19. And I've seen so many like other influencers make content with these girls and support them, which isn't very surprising. Cringe. But the most disturbing influencer that has made content with them is a 17-year-old girl. I mean, Piper's been making content for years now since she was a young child, and her family have, you know, gotten into a lot of drama and have been, you know, getting canceled and stuff
thanks
like
to her mom.
She's been making content with the Bop House. And
yeah, I think that's the part that I'm gonna have to talk to you all about is this individual. Piper has been in the stories and headlines since 2010s when her mom was one of the biggest controversies in the history of bad parenting. When the mom, she denied of having her daughter and exploiting her daughter and the rest of the teens and underage kids doing some sexual content with the thumbnails, with the title of the videos. Like, is the mom horny or something? Like, number one, that's your daughter. And second of all, Piper is acting on denial as if the mom had nothing to do with it. Like, she's literally okay of her mom exploiting her like this. Knowing that you got horny men who watches porn and OnlyFans to comment on, I kid you not, they created an OnlyFans specifically for teenagers. I'm not making this up, y'all. They created an OnlyFans specifically for teenagers to comment. And yes, I've seen the comments on YouTube when content creators talking about it. It's not only disturbing, but it's disgusting. You commented on, I'm not 18-year-old yet, saying how you want to do some things with her. It's just disgusting, bro. And the mother is at fault of how she raised her daughter. Like, there was a story talking about it. Inside Edition was talking about it as well. Yeah. Them and the news media, Netflix did a documentary on bad influence. And the fact that Piper is acting delusional as if happened to her, but something did. And that's why it's all over social media, because she's been making content since she was a baby. And now that she's 17, about to be 18, that has been brought into an adult house full of 304s, knowing that it's wrong for them to actually do. Like, what is a 17-year-old doing in a Bob house? Make it make sense.
Minor, you do have to be 18 to have an OnlyFans and join the Bop House, so she technically can't join the Bop House right now because she's literally a minor. But there's a lot of speculation that the minute
she's already in there,
she's going to be the newest member of the Bop House, which I just don't understand how no one sees a problem with an underage minor making content with girls who do sex work. What world do we live in? Like I said, dangerous. Okay, wait, I literally just found out that there's another version of the Bop House called the Mini Bop House. When I first saw the I was like assuming like maybe like fewer members, but no, it's literally a Bop House but for little people.
Oh my god. Oh god, more cringe fest. So we got little girls doing this now? Okay.
What is this? How did we get
This is not even funny at all.
It gets more ridiculous every single day. I wouldn't be surprised if they made a Bop House for like only black people. And all these women do in this Bop House is constantly flex. Like how they have a bunch of money and they're multi-millionaires.
Literally all there is anyway.
Cars, they don't even look at the price tags.
How many cars do you have?
I have 7 cars in total.
You have 7 cars. Can you run through them or like what?
So I have my Porsche. That is my #1 favorite car of all time. I have an X63 Mercedes AMG. That is my second baby. I just got her.
Aisha, how much have you made
This
since
is
joining
just
the Bop
insane,
House
bro.
You know what? I've made like 8 million in maybe like 10 cents. Got it.
This is y'all's fault.
Can't leave it out.
This is y'all's
How much
fault.
have you made since joining the Bop House? 3 million? Alina, how much have you made since joining the Bop House? I make 1 million per month, so do the math.
I blame you simps. This is y'all's fault. Like y'all, like I said, y'all are the reason why these women are making bank, because you do not have a common decency and common sense of not spending your hard working money on these promiscuous women. Y'all are the reason why a lot of these women on these podcasts are becoming more and more delusional when someone is trying to correct them and try to explain things to them, and why doing these things will not last them a lifetime. And if you were a real man, you would not be doing this. You will not be supporting these people. You will not be spending your hard-working money on these 304s that like to disrespect themselves and thinking that the world's supposed to take them seriously. We don't. You may be an adult and you can live your life however you want to live your life. But I'm going to need you to understand something. To any simp and man that is watching this, if y'all support this crap, guess what? You lost your manlyhood. You lost your dignity as a man to not support this, but you do it anyway because you want to see some punanis online, knowing that OnlyFans is not free. That's how stupid some of you men are.
House like shows screenshots of like all their like top supporters like giving them money and stuff like that.
Sophia Rain just revealed who her top spender was, and he spent almost $5 million.
Look at this.
All they do is
do y'all see what I'm talking about?
Grand lifestyle. So now we have so many women and young girls, young teen girls, even younger, like preteens.
Lord.
They're literally making TikTok audition videos to try to get in the Bop House. Like that's what these young girls are doing now. And apparently a previous member named Joy used to be a part of the Bop House, but something went down and she left. But there's all like this drama, and she went on YouTube to try to like, you know, tell her story. And I guess like people were mad at her because they were saying that she didn't have any self-control. Like it was like this whole thing.
Let's address the whole fact that I threw a book at Aisha.
No, seriously, get out. I do not want to talk right now. I need some peace and quiet. Get out of my room. Why the fuck do I need to talk about it with you? Get the fuck out of my room. I'm gonna crash out. I'm gonna throw it at you.
I don't care. We need to talk.
No, get the fuck out of my room. I should
Are you serious?
Yes, you piss me off so much. I've explained so many times how I.
And I bet you why it's the reason why Piper is in the house. The fact that they still considering having her in the house without even acknowledging how wrong and messed up is, it's insane. Even though I don't like the fact that she went into the house, but her crash out is valid. I get why she crashed out.
Listen to me. What else am I supposed to do? Y'all make me feel crazy.
Yeah, I threw a damn book at Aisha. I don't know why everyone's tripping about it. Like, as if y'all don't think it's justified.
I mean, and if you ask me, first of all, this whole thing is stupid. But second of all, I mean, it's a house full of like young 20-year-old something women. Like, this is gonna happen. Like, yeah. And this is, of course, like,
oh my god, the mom and the daughter doing it together. Like it's even worse.
I've been saying this whole time, extremely dangerous and problematic because a lot of these men and some women are, you know, addicted to porn, and they go online and they have all these unrealistic expectations of what a woman's body should look like and how that we should act. And a lot of these men don't know how to talk to women because all they do is watch porn instead of, you know, interacting with actual human beings. And all, you know, this OnlyFans content is doing is setting the standard of how women are perceived. You know, a lot of, you know, men are
that is kind of true though, but yeah,
towards women, because it's like, if you're gonna make content that with you not having any respect for your body, it's kind of like, in a man's mind, it's like, okay, why should I respect you then if you're not gonna really respect yourself? And it's also, like I said, like, all this is destroying the modern day beauty standards, because when we look at porn and, you know, this OnlyFans content, the majority of these women have gotten plastic surgery and have gotten major work done,
BBLs and all of that,
look like that, and it's all fake. But if all men see is bodies that look like that, they're gonna expect all women to have bodies like that, which that's not a thing. Every single woman doesn't have like these humongous, unnatural looking perky boobs and like an hourglass waist and flawed in with a perfect little small petite figure. Like, that's not it. A lot of people don't look like that. A lot of women do, but a lot of other women don't. And also, like, the OnlyFans and like the sex work industry is very, very dark and twisted, and a lot of women have gotten really, really hurt, and a lot of women are taken advantage of and left with a lot of trauma because of the things that they go
don't forget the sex trafficking part as well.
Like, flexing all the money that you're making and making it seem like being in the Bob house is like the best thing that's ever happened to you. Of course, like, all these young girls are gonna see that and think like, okay, well, now I want to be OnlyFans girl, because like that's the most ultimate life. Hence why all these girls are trying to audition.
At some point, you know, the Bob house is starting to become a joke. Like, all you see is a bunch of OF models just flexing, showing off their bodies, and is, you know, begging for some sex. That's literally all there is. Like, who's gonna go over there and entertain them? I'm like, come on, bro. I can't take people seriously like this. I can't.
Just extremely heartbreaking and sad, because one, our reputation as women is just plummeting and getting lower and lower, and all these women are destroying how men perceive all of us, because what women do affects all of us as a whole and as a unit, and people don't realize that. That's my biggest issue. It's just, it's very dangerous to other women, including myself. That's my problem with it. You know, like, I'm not gonna be a control freak and try to say, oh, women can't wear this and wear that and stuff like that. It's just, my biggest thing is like the effects that has on society as a whole, because what, like I said, what other women and girls are doing are affecting all of us as a whole, not just that person. I never thought that I would see the day where a Bob house was a thing and OnlyFans houses were a thing, and it's just so
embarrassing.
Every year it's like,
it sucks.
Somehow it's like, I don't think it could get any worse, and then all of a sudden I see something like this online, and it's like, I just don't know like how much more worse it's gonna get. It's honestly kind of scary, and I think about how that's gonna affect me as a woman and affect my relationships with other women and men, you know. It's just all very sad and heartbreaking, honestly. If you guys made it to the end of
shout out to Leonie for this amazing content, breaking down issues and problems that a lot of us have been having issues with adult content on social media, especially when there are kids involved, and a lot of toxic gym cultures are promoting their OF just to ruin gym equipments when people got to use to lose weight and get healthy and fit. You know, I think the Bob house just made things worse. Big influencers doing content at some point of their nonsense is just beyond me. And like I said, if I had a daughter that does this, I don't know if I should disown her or I should just kick her out of my life, because I don't know, like, I'm having these crazy thoughts running through my mind. It's well, what would happen if your loved ones ended up doing stuff like this? And we were just talking about this in my Sunday school earlier. It's dark. And what these OnlyFans and adult film stars fail to understand and realize is that porn is dangerous. It could lead to something more tragic. It could lead to suicide, drug addiction, overdose, sex trafficking. Nobody wants to talk about that in these podcasts, but anytime they do, the feminists will always be delusional. And that's why the guy who created OnlyFans is going to end up selling it to one of the biggest investors in California. And once he, you know what I'm saying, and once he does that, it's over. And now they're about to stop people from making thirst traps on TikTok, twerking and carrying on. I say, yeah, bring it. Make it happen. So now we can go back to looking at social media the right way again. Because I remember when I first started Instagram, I remember when Instagram used to be fun to look at photos and normal videos. Nowadays, all you see is toxic 304 thirst traps, adult film stars, and OF models promoting their OnlyFans on Instagram. And all you see is booty pictures and feet, butt, feet, and breast pictures on Instagram. That's literally all you see. That's why I don't like being on it that much. The only time is where I promote like videos on Instagram from my TikTok. And that's it. But anytime when I'm going to look at some comic art, all I see is women doing promiscuous things. And that's like, man, forget it. I'm out of here. It sucks. You know what I'm saying? Social media has really turned people's minds upside down. So, once again, shout out to Liani for this good video. And link to her original video will be down below. And I'm out of here.